As usual, I have my foundation on first just because I use the same foundation all the time, and I use the Revlon Color Stay foundation. I never change my foundation just because this foundation is the best foundation I can use for my skin. The primer I always stick to is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. I love this primer because it works really good for my skin. I'm really oily and I have enlarged pores, and this just always works well for me. And then I set all my face with my Revlon Color Stay Pressed Powder. I use that to set my foundation, and I pretty much don't have anything else on. The next step I'm going to do is my concealer. I'm going to take my Maybelline Fit Me concealer, and it's in the color Fair, and I'm just going to conceal under my eyes, and I'm also going to prime my eyelids with this too. I'm going to take my Real Techniques Beauty Blender, and I'm just going to blend that out. I'm going to take my Coty Airspun powder. I love using this powder to set my concealer. I don't really use it all over my face just because it's very high fragrance and it really breaks me out bad, but I love to use this powder to set my concealer. I'm just going to set my concealer with that. I'm going to let all that powder bake while I do my eyebrows. I'm going to take my Anastasia Dip Brow in the color Medium Brown. I always start from the bottom because I like to outline my eyebrows first and then fill them in that way. I just think it's easier that way. Now that my eyebrows are pretty much filled in, I'm going to take my Maybelline Fit Me concealer. I'm going to dot that right underneath my eyebrows. I'm just going to take my sponge and blend that out. I'm going to go ahead and contour, and I'm going to take my Physicians Formula Matte Sculpting Bronzer, and it's amazing for fair skin, and it's not too muddy looking on me. I'm going to take it on my flat, dense brush, and it's by this brand called Crown, and I love this brush. It's perfect for contouring. But I'm going to take a little bit of that Coty Airspun powder, and I'm just going to bake a little bit underneath my contour. It looks like I'm painting a lot, but I'm just going to sweep all this away. I'm going to let all this powder bake underneath my contour and underneath my eyes. I'm going to go ahead and get started on my eyes next. I'm going to take my Too Faced Nikkie Tutorials palette here. I love going in with this cool brown shade here. It's a perfect transition shade. I'm just going to go in my crease with that. Actually forgot to set that concealer that I put underneath my brow, so I'm just going to quickly do that, and I'm going to use this ivory shade in that Too Faced palette, and I'm just going to set that concealer. I'm going to take this emerald green shade in this Too Faced palette. It's a really pretty sparkly green shade. My outer corner with that. It's a beautiful green shade. I don't want to take this color on my brow bone, so I'm trying to focus on the middle to lower crease and the outer part. I'm going to blend this out too once I'm done. Brush, I'm just going to take that and I'm going to blend that green in. What I always like to do when I'm doing darker eyeshadow is I like to take my Coty Airspun, and I just like to go underneath it there and leave it to bake while I'm finishing up, just because it really helps to create a sharp line there, and it helps any fallout that I have later. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my crease, and I'm going to take my Maybelline Fit Me concealer again. I'm going to put it on the back of my hand. Take a small flat brush, and I'm going to go into that concealer corner. I'm not going to go all the way over because I want to leave that green there. I'm just going to kind of go halfway. Like I said, this Maybelline Fit Me concealer is so good to cut your crease and to prime your lids and to carve out your brows. I'm just going to take my finger and kind of blend that in a little bit. This is the Too Faced Glamour Dust Glittery. It's in the color Glittery. It's a really pretty silver loose glitter. It's very messy, and you really got to be careful when you're using loose pigments, especially loose glitter, because you can get it in your eyes, so you really have to be careful. I'm going to take some of my Salon Perfect lash glue here, and I'm just going to put a little bit on the back of my hand, not a lot because you don't need a lot. I'm going to take that same flat brush and pick up some of that lash glue. Picked up a little bit too much. Before this lash glue dries, I'm going to pick up some glitter on that same brush. I'm going to pat it on my lid. I'm not rubbing at all, I'm just patting it on there. Because if you rub, you're pretty much going to rub the glue off, and you don't want that. I pretty much have the glitter that I want on this eye, so I'm going to charge my camera and I'm going to finish up this eye, and I think my camera is charged enough for me to finish this video. I did the rest of this eye. I really liked how it turned out, so hopefully it will match the other eye. I'm going to take a brush and I'm going to swipe away the powder I have. I'm going to move on to my lower lash line, and I'm going to take that same green shade that I used in my crease, and I'm going to spray my brush. Put that on my lower lash line. I'm going to take the same brush I used before, and I'm just going to blend that out. I'm just going to take this Makeup Forever black kohl liner, and I'm going to put that in my lower waterline. And then next I'm going to take my Maybelline Stiletto liquid liner. I love this liner. It's so good. I love the applicator on it because it makes it so much easier to do my wing with that. I'm actually going to use a different mascara this time. I swear by the L'Oreal Lash Paradise mascara. It's compared to the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and it's much more affordable. I love that, but I actually ran out of it. Jaclyn Hill swears by this mascara, and it's the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara, and I love it, and I got it in the waterproof. I'm just going to coat my lashes with that before I pop my falsies on. The lashes I'm using are the Kiss brand eyelashes, and they're in the color Dim Eye Wispies. I love the Kiss brand lashes because they're so affordable and they last for a lot of wear. And I think that if you're going to be using something so much and so frequently, that you need to buy something that's a little bit affordable. And I love these lashes, and they're very, very comfortable as well. I'm going to take my Salon Perfect lash glue, and I'm just going to slowly drop lash on my lash band. I'm going to let that sit there for just a second, and I'm just going to finish putting it on with my tweezers. Now that my lashes are on, I'm going to coat my bottom lashes. For my inner corner highlight, I took this silvery shade in this Too Faced palette that I've been using, and I put that in my inner corner, and I think it gave it a really pretty dramatic highlight. So I'm going to take that, and then I'm going to spray it. It's a very pretty, very, very true silver shade. It's great with the rest of the look. I think it really helps to pull it together. Before I do my highlight, I'm going to go in with a blush, and I'm going to take my Tarte Amazonian Clay blush, and it's in the shade Feisty, so I'm going to take that on a fluffy brush. I'm just going to pop that on the apples of my cheeks. I'm not really going to put a lot just because my eyes are really dramatic and I really want to put focus on my eyes. I'm just going to put a little bit of that on the apples of my cheeks. I'm going to take this Unicorn Glow palette by the brand Face Candy. I got this palette off shophush.com. I'm going to take this silvery white shade in this palette. I'm going to spray a little setting spray on it. Pop that on my cheek. I love this highlight. This is a very intense highlight, but I think it really goes great with this look. I'm going to take that same highlighting shade on my finger and just pop that on my nose and a little bit on my bridge. What I like to do is I like to take my sponge and just kind of melt that in with my skin just to kind of blend it in a little bit more. It really helps to blend it in better when you just use your sponge. I'm going to move on to my lips, and I'm going to take this really pretty red shade lipstick, and it's by the brand, I can't pronounce it, I think it's a Ciat London brand. It's a really pretty red lipstick with a pink undertone. Okay guys, here's my finished look. I really liked how this turned out. I'm talking really fast because my camera's about to die, but I really liked how this turned out. I love the glitter on the lids. I love how the red lips really pull the look together. As always, thank you guys so much for watching my video today, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you leave, and I will see you in my next video.